Leading off, tough news yesterday. Ronald Acuna Jr., torn ACL, out for the season. So, following, your 40-70 year, we kind of had a slow start. We have a non contact injury between second and third base yesterday. Obviously, didn't look good. Usually, those non contact injuries, your mind goes straight to, like blown ACL, Achilles, something like that. And sure enough, torn ACL. Is Ronald Acuna Jr., I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, is he starting to creep into the what if category?
No, not
You
yet.
don't, not
Not
yet?
yet. Not yet. Not yet. This could be a blip. I mean, this is not. I mean, like Mike Trout's the guy you talk about because it's like season after season after season after season. Same with Byron Buxton, season after season after season. I mean, this guy's coming off a season last year where he was fully healthy and put up video game numbers.
Yep.
Like if he misses the rest of this year with a torn ACL, rehabs, comes back next year, misses half the season with a fractured collarbone, and then the season after that we have a wrist injury. Like, you know what I mean? Like if we get 3-4 seasons in a row where he's missing major time, then we start to have it. I don't think we're anywhere close to that yet.
This is our second ACL tear, though.
I know, but I still think it's too early for it.
Okay,
I still think it's too early for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Acuna is starting to approach that territory. To Sean's point, I don't think we're there yet, but I think you ask an interesting question, Nick, because Acuna's rookie season was 18, and he played 111 games. In 19, he played 156. In 20, he played 46 games, which was basically 2/3 of that shortened season. In 21, he only played 82 games. In 22, he played 119. Last year, he plays 159 and lights the world on fire. And this year, he's going to end up playing 49. So you've gotten 2 full seasons in 7 out of him. Otherwise, he misses about a third to a half of the season.
Yeah, well, I guess if it's that many, I guess I didn't realize until it was laid out all in front of me. I didn't realize it was that many out of the 7. I guess it's closer than I was saying then.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I was saying.
I think you're right. It's not there yet, but I think he's starting to approach that territory because he's kind of he's missing chunks that I don't think it's only 7 years in the league, so it's not as glaring as Trout has been doing this for at least that long. But like Acuna goes down in 21 and they win the World Series, and he missed half the season. But you kind of forget about that because they won the World Series and Freddie Freeman had a massive season before he left. And it's just, I think he is approaching that territory where you've got to kind of wonder what would he look like if you actually got 145 games every season out of him. I will say this season, his numbers were not great. I mean, he was hitting 250 when he went down. Power numbers were way down. RBIs way down. Stolen bases were still there, but I mean, he was not anywhere near where he was last year. But when you see a guy with a non-contact knee injury, that's like the worst kind, because that is like the knee just went. It didn't require it to be pushed at all. Like it just went.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, to answer your question, like what would we see with a full 162? We saw it last year. You get 40 and 70.
You see video games.
Yeah. He is approaching that what if category for me. Like it's a significant amount of time missed in 7 years, and it's too bad.
Laid out in front of me more than I thought.
Yeah. So let me dangle that carrot a little further. So 2019, his first full season that he actually played 156 games, 40 home runs, 37 stolen bases. 2023, 41 and 73. Everything else he's kind of been in the teens and 20s, but you look at his 2 sample set full seasons, he's a 40-40 guy on an annual basis.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So a real tough injury, obviously, because it's tough for baseball fans to see one of the top players go down like that, and to see what he could have backed last season up with, the potential,
it's a shame with what Philadelphia is doing too. Like it just the morale wise in Atlanta, that's got to be tough. To think that this is a guy we're probably going to need if we want a chance to kind of catch them, stay with them, potentially pass them. You need your best players. So outside of like on the baseball field, just in the clubhouse, like that's got to suck morale wise for that team. Who they don't stink now. Let me. I'm not saying that, but
Right.
you know, losing a guy like that for the rest of the year is tough. That's tough.
Yeah, and the Braves weren't exactly lighting the world on fire either. I mean, they're 6 games back. They're 30-21, having a good season, but they wouldn't be leading most divisions in baseball right now. Actually, they wouldn't. Only division they'd be leading is the AL West, which isn't saying much. Like they're not playing to the level they should be, and losing him certainly won't help. They get Sean Murphy back, which is good news, but you don't replace Acuna. So now you got Acuna and Strider both down in what you thought was going to be a massive year for you, and the Phillies are running away with it right now. And two of the biggest weapons in your arsenal are not available.
Yeah,
that's tough
for the year. It's not like they're
for the year,
back.
right? Yeah,
They're out,
yeah, no,
out.
they are 100% not coming back.